Hi lovelies, and welcome back to this channel. If you are new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos, that leave commentaries, and also educate you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video.
So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I just had to share with you guys because I find it super educating and interactive. Then I decided to put it up here. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or so. We're just here to educate ourselves. So this colored man decided to share this, historical fact with us, and this got a lot of people contributing to this fact. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video.
For questions of faith, no proof has ever mattered. For questions of religion, no evidence is ever enough. This is perpetuating the mentality of the enslaver, which comes down to this. The word of no black person is worth the word of a white person. The value of no black person is worth the value of a white person. That's what this says. All kinds of oral history, the word of black people, that this is in fact the case. But however, the word of a couple of white people matters a whole lot more. How does that actually work in people's minds today? Now, we can in fact value these things equally and then require, in fact, evidence implied by the interesting use of disproven here. We can take the oral history of Madison Hemings, and then we can add on to that evidence produced by historical method to corroborate as much of that oral history as possible. And then we can layer on top of that DNA evidence through a rare haplogroup that only males in the Jefferson line possess, conducted by 3 separate laboratories, all under blind conditions, meaning they had no idea what they were testing and for whom, all achieving the same result, that Eston Hemings, the brother of Madison Hemings, could only have been the son of a male Jefferson, and the only male Jefferson that was at all remotely possible a candidate was Thomas Jefferson. Might have been his brother. Not quite so sure, Sean, whatever your name is, that you know how this works. Maybe you don't. You have to kind of be there to conceive. Randolph Jefferson's brother was never there. So in terms of the evidence we have, not possible. Only Thomas Jefferson is the only candidate. And now, because of the genetic gains by for-profit companies such as Ancestry and 23andMe, we've corroborated that the descendants of Madison Hemings. We have a lot of people getting tested for this stuff. This stuff gets more proven almost literally every single day by the science, by all kinds of other DNA. So we have the ostensibly objective evidence provided by science. One would think irrefutable. And as the article was published in Nature in 1998, to a 99% certainty. Plus the historical evidence, the historical method that corroborates the oral history of Madison Hemings, which corroborates the contemporary evidence of what people said at the time. So you have contemporary evidence about what people around Jefferson are saying. You have the oral history of Madison Hemings. You have the historical evidence provided by the historical method of historians such as Annette Gordon-Reed. And you have the science that clearly finds that Thomas Jefferson was with a 99% certainty the father of the direct ancestor of Eston Hemings. Okay, but this just comes down to one thing. What is the value of the word of a black person over the value of the word of a white person? Why continue to argue this? Because there's a lot of intellectual, maybe that's overstating it, a lot of mental circumlocutions that you have to go through to persist in this, which is the dream, the fantasy land of the far right that must keep their heroes pure, and therefore keeping their words pure. Because what's the word of a black person against the word of a, and I bet you I haven't looked at his profile. I tend not to for these kind of things. Just before I block them, I bet you this guy is of that particular demographic. The Church of Thomas Jefferson. Nunc Dimittis.
So go watch that video for context, but it's basically talking about Thomas Jefferson having children with Sally Hemings. It's a historical fact that we really don't need to argue over, but I found it funny that people still find it difficult to believe that historical figures could do bad things. Now, the only thing that I'm really going to say about that is that if you look at the timeline of the birth of all of Jefferson's children, they were born coincidentally 9 months after every time he visited Monticello. It's a coincidence that you cannot look over when it happens more than 3 times. But aside from this, I think people would be baffled to know that most of Jefferson's close associates knew about Sally Hemings' place in Jefferson's life and openly recognized it privately when they were with Jefferson. As a matter of fact, Madison Hemings' first name, one of Jefferson and Sally Hemings' children, is not Madison, it's James Madison, as in the 4th president of the United States, James Madison. When Madison Hemings was born, Dolly Madison offered to stand as godmother to the new baby. Obviously, she really didn't serve as godmother. It was an empty promise, but it was a recognition privately by other slaveholders and by Jefferson's close intimates that they recognized the relationship or the place that Sally held in Jefferson's life. Sally Hemings was not able to consent to her relationship with Jefferson, given that he was a 45-year-old man and she was under the age of 18. But it's not a controversy that Jefferson publicly disavowed, neither is it something that he denied amongst people who came and asked him about it. During the early years of his presidency, Jefferson fell out with a newspaper editor named James Callender, who, in revenge for Jefferson not giving him the refund for a fine, published a story detailing his relationship with Sally Hemings. The fact that Jefferson never publicly acknowledged the accusations and knew full well that they were true, and so did all of his friends, should be enough to tell you that there is no controversy about the paternity of of Sally Hemings' children. Neither should we doubt the fact that he kept her essentially as a concubine for at least 40 years. It's not controversial. He did that. But yeah, that was just my little spiel for today.
I don't know what you're doing today, but you need to stop right here. This is my mutual, Tad Stormer, and the conversation that's going on his page right now around this type of stuff, chef's kiss. Let me just give you a brief clip.
This is perpetuating the mentality of the enslaver, which comes down to this. The word of no black person is worth the word of a white person. The value of no black person is worth the value of a white person.
Yeah, and he's not done. After a very thorough breakdown of how not only the oral history of black people surrounding incidents like this, combined with genetics, suddenly find that comment is not available anymore. This, unfortunately, is a pattern a lot of us run into. Suffice it to say, the folks who look like me are going to get more challenges than folks who look like Tad. It's not only important that when folks like Tad see these challenges, not just in their own comments, but in the comments of folks who look like me, they directly dismantle them. That's called doing the work. This conversation in and of itself is so vital and so important. It's about individual subject matters, which in and of themselves are very important. But about this idea that my mutual brought up, we would rather believe the word of a few white folks over the oral history of black folks, even if that oral history ties in with science, ties in with genetics, ties in with the history that we know. So folks so easily dismiss the experiences of black folks because for so long they've been taught to dismiss the experiences of black folk. That's why it's easy to say that, oh, some slaves were happy during enslavement. That's why it's easy to say that racism doesn't exist anymore or doesn't affect people anymore, despite the fact that we have so much data that proves that to be untrue. The harm is in the reduction. The dehumanization is in the reduction. Complete dismissal is in the reduction. Shout out to my mutual who will be tagged. I'll go on over there, show some love, show some support, give a follow, and enjoy. Because these takedowns,
Seriously, lovelies, some of all these, pan-colored people often talk about how slaves also benefited from being enslaved and how so many slaves enjoyed being enslaved and all of that. And in this era that we are, that's all of those things has been abolished, and also there's nothing like Ray and sis. This video, when this dude was actually explaining all this, actually, remind me of a video I posted concerning one colored woman who decided to come on TikTok to tell us how slaves then enjoyed being slaves, even if when their masters, some of their masters, were proving otherwise, that there's also some masters that actually treated their slaves well, even if when they are enslaved, that they were actually treated well. And this brought me to like, how are they, treated well? Who enjoyed being enslaved? Who enjoyed, doing something that that you are obligated to do, that is not of your own will? Like, who the hell we want to enjoy, thing like that? Who want to enjoy being slaves? Like when she was talking about she even talked about how most people enjoyed it, how some of the masters treated their slaves so well, how like even in this arena, you cannot enjoy being treated the way our ancestors were treated. No matter how you feel that they enjoyed doing that, like they enjoy being forced to breastfeed someone that is not of their own lineage, or someone that didn't actually give birth to. Because I read somewhere that most of all these, our ancestors, these women, they often force them to breastfeed their mortals, wherever kid, all because they are using this avenue to fight, was it malaria then? Seriously. So how can you enjoy getting pregnant forcefully, then after birthing your own child, you will be forced not to breastfeed your child, then you'll be told to breastfeed someone else's child, just because of the nutritional value that this child gets from your breast milk? So what kind of enjoyment is that? Probably because of the breast milk, the masters or whatsoever might want them to eat some nutritional food, or food that will just make them look very well. So because of this lady sees it as they are enjoying it. You are enjoying it at the detriment of someone you gave birth to. Like, what kind of it, So sometimes, again, when I talk about, oh my God, this is something that happens, 400 years ago, we have long passed that. It does not exist anymore. After all, you people actually enjoyed it as well. So it's no big deal. I often like, wow. So what is all these controversies that is happening? What is all this calling out? Karens being called out for being racially whatever. Seriously, and you often tell us that, oh my God, stuff like this do not exist anymore. You just check this guy out. Anyways, lovelies, why not just, leave it in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes why not just leave your thoughts? Subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. And I also want to use this medium to thank my newest subscribers, to thank those people that share this content, to thank even the people that leave their comments in the section, because with all of the comments, I get to educate myself. I also get to learn so many things, which they are also depriving us from learning in terms of history. So we are all just here to contribute with each other, like to pass our knowledge across. And I'm just enjoying every part of it. So that is why I'm thanking everyone for all their contributions, for all the love, to those people that support me, by support that chatted me. Thank you so much. I cannot take all those for granted. And to my returning subscribers, my thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please share this. Subscribe if you're yet to do that. And I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.
And if you have watched up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Do not forget that this channel, we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes. So please share this video, subscribe, and leave your thoughts. And I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.